Is it possible? Yeah. Does he have the talent to do it? Yeah. Was he one of the best fighters of all time? Yeah. So
personally, like when you think about boxing, like you know who he is, and like you know like what he brings in his fight. So yeah, man. I mean, we're here.
Freddie Roach was stunned while watching 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao train for his fight against Mario Barrios. Roach, who has coached Pacquiao for many years, couldn't believe how fast and sharp Pacquiao still looked. His punches were so quick. Many boxing analysts have watched Pacquiao's recent training clips and were truly amazed by how fit he still is. Even at 46, Manny moves in the gym with the speed and sharpness of fighters much younger than him. Experts say Mario Barrios could...
At the same time with me saying that, I still kind of got Mario Barrios getting the win just because of age, but I would not be surprised if Manny Pacquiao pulls through. I can tell you this, a lot of the internet saying Manny Pacquiao about to shock the world. So I'm just excited all in all. It's a couple things that I do want to talk about in this regard. One of them being, if Barrios wins the fight, then I feel like we got to see Barrios versus Boots. And I got Boots for the victory, for sure. At the same time, if Pacquiao gets the win, do we see Pacquiao versus Boots? I don't really see that going that way, or I don't see that going good for Pacquiao, if I gotta be honest. So I'm very curious on how that's gonna go. But personally, the boxing fan in me, I want to see Boots get undisputed. You know, that's what I want to see. So in a sense, I kind of want Barrios to win just so we can see the Boots versus Barrios fight. But the topic of this video is Pacquiao and Barrios, so let's get back into that. That's just exciting, just to see Pacquiao with all this footage, the clips, I'm seeing him do press, all of that. It's just exciting just in general. Now, with that being said, I think Pacquiao still got that pop on him. He definitely gonna have that speed, or at least close enough speed to what he used to have. I do think it's going to be an exciting fight, and it's in Vegas.
The crisp sound of Pacquiao's punches during training is impressing everyone watching. At an age when most boxers have retired, his hand speed is still incredibly fast, surprising even veteran trainers. This quickness has always been one of Manny's biggest strengths, and it clearly hasn't gone away. That mix of speed and strength in each punch proves he's still dangerous. Pacquiao teaming up again with Freddie Roach has brought excitement to fans and boxing experts. Roach, known for helping Pacquiao rise to fame, understands his style deeply. Their work together at this training camp in Los Angeles is getting a lot of attention from media. Mario Barrios has spoken about what it means to fight Pacquiao, saying he feels both honored and challenged. He knows this is a huge moment and not just any fight. It's a chance to face a boxing icon. Barrios's words show he understands how much history and emotion are tied to this matchup.
Well, Pacquiao's a big name, and obviously Barrios a great fight for Barrios because he's a champion, and I think Pacquiao, being that they both have connections with PBC, that's the easiest fight to make. So getting another title opportunity. Just the name, obviously, but I really believe that, Pacquiao shouldn't be fighting. I think it's actually going to be a little, I don't want to say sad because he's going to make a lot of money, so we can't feel sorry for him. But at 46, almost 47, it's almost impossible for, I'm just 4 years older, 3-4 years older than him, and it's not easy to try to think you're going to get in shape and be able to perform like the way you were when you were in your 20s and 30s.
You think it's impossible for him to beat Mario Barrios right now?
Well, it's not impossible because he has power. That he should have that power. Barrios is big and a strong boy, so I don't see that happening. But is it possible? Anything's possible. George Foreman did it. There's been others that do it. But I really don't see it happening.
But Pacquiao speed's the name of his game. Do you think he doesn't have that? There's no way he doesn't have the same speed as before.
There's no way, bro. You guys, I don't know if you guys seen his last performance.
The exhibition against that big guy.
It was actually embarrassing to see that shit. So it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. You know what I mean?
If Pacquiao wins, what does that do for him? Where does that put him all time?
Hell, come on, at that age, after like a few years, I don't know how many years he's been out, that'd be impressive. It's hard to think it's gonna happen, but that shit would be nice, man. It would be nice. Very few have done it, and he's actually one that could do it.
Pacquiao, he's probably top 5 all time, one of the greatest fighters. Does this
Boxing great Sugar Ray Leonard has spoken in favor of Pacquiao's return, focusing on the mental strength needed to compete at this age. Leonard rejected the idea that comebacks are pointless, saying that success often comes from a strong mindset and courage. Because
it was a Pacquiao, and I was like, I knew he was retired, and it just wasn't like a fight that I had ever really thought about. Yeah, thought about or pictured unfolding in my head. So yeah, then around March was when I was I got the word that, okay, we're gonna start working on this for real. All the details, I'm like, oh damn, this is really happening. Okay, cool. All right, let's get it.
It's still when you think about it, is it still crazy for you? You're fighting MannyPacquiao, who you weren't even born yet, and he was already fighting. I think he might have had a world title. I'm not sure, but yeah.
He might have. Yeah, no, dude. He's again from my earliest memories, anytime I thought about boxing, he was a name that I knew in the sport. And like I said, it doesn't matter what generation you're from. I think just in general, Manny is one of those names universally. When you think about boxing, you know who he is, and what he brings in his fight. So yeah, man. I mean, we're here. I'm defending my title against him. So yeah, it's crazy, but I mean, I'm excited.
Fans and boxing commentators are reacting very positively to Pacquiao's training sessions. Many are amazed at how his punches and movement look like they did in his prime. Seeing him move this well at 46 is surprising and inspiring, showing that top-level training and effort can still keep a fighter sharp.
At 46, about to make his way back into the ring. I saw him training this morning, but a lot of people are worried about him. He's been inactive. Bob Arum, his longtime, guy, even said, I don't want to see him get hurt. Rooting for him, but I don't want to see him get hurt. What do you think as a guy, who's probably thought about getting back in the ring a few times? You know what I'm saying? What do you think?
Well, actually, I can't comment too harshly on that because I made more comebacks than everybody. I hold a record, undisputed.
Yeah.
But you know what? Hey, do what you want to do, man.
Do you think the idea of inactivity when you have somebody who lives his life to do it is a big deal?
It is a big deal, man. I mean, there's no one thing that will really make people understand why we do what we do. But you know what? God bless, stay healthy, and take care.
In recent training videos, Pacquiao looks like a fighter who hasn't lost a step. His punches come fast, his footwork is light, and he moves with a rhythm that shows he's still got it. His physical shape and fighting skills seem far better than expected for his age. Watching him on the mitts, it's clear he's still driven to compete. This fight is being seen as more than just a contest. It's a matchup between two eras. Pacquiao representing the golden age.
The WBC president Mauricio Suleiman has said Mario Barrios will face Manny Pacquiao this July. That's some crazy shit, bro. That's some crazy news. Manny Pacquiao is 46 years of age. He's making his return to the ring. And he said he wants to go out with a bang. He wants to finish his career as a champion. That's some crazy shit. Manny Pacquiao's professional record currently stands at 62 wins, 39 of those coming via knockout, 8 losses and 2 draws. Manny Pacquiao has one of the most impressive CVs in the sport of boxing. Just take a look at from 09 Ricky Hatton all the way up until here. There's so many names: Timothy Bradley, Manuel Marquez, Shane Mosley, Joshua Cloteley, Miguel Cotto, Floyd Mayweather, Jesse Vargas. Like, there's so many names on this list. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at Mario Barrios' record. 29 wins, 18 of those coming via knockout, 2 losses and 1 draw on his resume. What do I make of this fight? I don't know, you know. I mean, listen, this is a young man's sport. I ask myself, Manny Pacquiao, why do you want to come back and fight a younger fighter? You know what I mean? Mario Barrios, who is the current champion, who's the WBC champion. Why? What have you got to prove? You've proven everything throughout your career. So I don't know what to say. But anyways, let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and watch a clip of the president of WBC, Mauricio Suleiman, talk about this.
As of now, Mario Barrios is the WBC champion. So who is he mandated to fight next? Do you have made that decision yet?
Well, at this time, Mario Barrios is going to fight Manny Pacquiao in July. He wants to retire as WBC champion, so he's fighting in the welterweight division.
Why does he come out of retirement and get a WBC title shot in his first fight?
Because it's something that WBC has respected. Sugar Ray Leonard was retired 4 years when he requested to fight Marvin Hagler and defeated Hagler. So we do have that provision in the rules. A legendary champion with the credentials such as Manny Pacquiao. He has been medically cleared, licensed by Nevada, so we have voted in favor to allow that fight to happen.
Longtime boxing voice Teddy Atlas shared his thoughts on Barrios' move up in weight, pointing out that he's not fighting in his most natural division. Atlas said this might mean Barrios doesn't actually have the size advantage many expect over Pacquiao. This makes the fight seem...
So Mario Barrios and Manny Pacquiao are finalizing a deal to fight in the summer. Now, Manny Pacquiao is, I think, close to 40 years old, if not already 40. Why is he still boxing? We've seen how he looked in his last exhibition against Ampo. I'm telling you right now, if this fight ever happens, which it probably will, this fight will happen, most likely. If he gets in there with Barrios, he's gonna get whooped and possibly even stopped. Let me know what y'all think about this fight down below. Manny's already done the most legendary thing you could ever do in boxing. 8 division world champion. No one's ever done it. And probably no one will ever do it again. So why does he want to keep fighting these young guys? I don't know, man. I don't know. But let me know what y'all think down below.
People in boxing are still split about how Pacquiao will do. Some believe his smarts and toughness will help him, while others worry about his age and safety in such a tough sport. Some say this fight feels more like a show than a real competition, comparing it to other recent big-name matchups with non-traditional fighters. This debate shows how
not naturally as big a man as those other welterweights. So start there. That's a fair point. He moved up in weight, Barrios. So he's not a naturally big natural welterweight. And of course we understand Pacquiao has moved up. My God. I don't even know when he first turned pro, you would have thought maybe he could have been a jockey.
Yeah,
I mean, he was
180 pounds, right?
Yeah, jockeys are about 105 pounds, I think, somewhere around that neighborhood. I mean, can you imagine him though going to the whip? He might have killed the horse. That's the only thing. Yeah, you would have had Petter. What is it called? Peter, whatever. Peter. You would have had Peter coming after you. You know, look what he did to this horse. You know, but Look, I love Pacquiao. One of my favorite people, one of my favorite fighters in the whole world. He's moved up from like whatever, incredible weight. People forget about that. That's why I brought it up. How many weight classes this man has really moved up. Incredible. Just incredible. But now, yeah, Barrios wouldn't be as big as those other guys, but he's still a guy that's confident. He's a guy that's a world champion. He's a guy who throws a lot of punches. He's a guy who's younger, who's active, you know, who I know you can't go by this guy beat this guy, but he could beat that guy, but he could beat this guy, but you can't go by that in my business, in this business, because styles make fights. But you're right. He beat Ugas. You could say Ugas was a little older than when he fought him a little bit than when Pacquiao fought him. And maybe that made a difference, whatever. But
the choice to give Pacquiao a direct shot at the title has caused some anger in the boxing world. Critics like Jeff Mayweather argue that it's unfair to fighters who have worked their way up the rankings. This situation shows the ongoing struggle in boxing between honoring legends and being fair to current contenders. The controversy adds more drama to the fight, showing how hard it is.
Reportedly for July 19th. And we know Manny Pacquiao has always brought big business, but now he's going to bring it in more of the late career George Foreman type of way to etch himself into that record book even further. Can Manny do it? I mean, look, the odds are certainly against him, but there's one thing about certain legends in this game. Think Bernard Hopkins, who fought into a very late age. Some of them, as long as they can physically get themselves into that ring, sometimes they can reproduce magic for one night. So it's a romantic situation. I got cats walking around.
Yep.
People are excited to see the Pac-Man back. You just got to kind of figure out, is this for real? Is he going to be for real? Or are we going to send him into a physical, violent retirement?
Yeah, Reggie's a big Manny Pacquiao fan. He loves him because he knows about Father Time, because Father Time is undefeated. We know cats have 9 lives.